This is gonna be a non-spoiler rant. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Merely Layla. My name is Layla. If you're watching this, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. First and foremost, please excuse the face. I didn't feel like putting on makeup today, so this is what we're working with. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to keep this video relatively short, but I just wanted to rant a little bit, okay? I'm gonna try to keep this video a bit short. And it's going to be a bit ranty, so I apologize for that, but I have to get it off my chest because I can't talk to other people about this kind of stuff, you know? My close friends don't read books like I do, so you guys get to hear it. Yay! So I've been on a fantasy kick lately. Well, I should say I've been on a romantasy kick lately, and that's because of frickin' Fourth Wing. I've literally been trying to read anything to hold me over until the third book in the Empyrean series comes out, which feels like it's a century away, so sad. But anyways, I was browsing through some of my comments, or some of the comments in one of my Facebook groups, and I heard them talking about Spark of the Everflame, and I got so excited because it had really good reviews. Everybody was raving about it, so I was like, oh my goodness, this is a book I would enjoy, you know? So I'll give you a little bit of a premise. The story basically follows Dime Bellator. She lives in this world that is dominated by gods, but it initially belonged to like humans and stuff, mortals. Mortals are obviously oppressed like every other fantasy book out there. So one day, Dime notices her mom talking to some strange figure, and right after that little encounter with that strange person, her mother ends up disappearing. And Dime has to basically take over the responsibilities her mother had at the palace. And so by doing that, she gets entangled with the royals, and she begins to discover things about herself her mother had been keeping quiet. So interesting, right? Sounds super fascinating. It just seems like something that's up my alley. It doesn't matter how many times I've read books with the similar premise. Like, I can read it 5 billion times and I don't care. I was excited to get started on this book, and then I read it, and I was disappointed. Oh my god. The premise of the story is solid, right? It has great potential. I like the world building. I liked the magical system. I will say it's a bit like surface level, so like it's not as deeply detailed, which I know it bothers some people, but it doesn't really bother me. Like, I don't really care. My main focus is on the romance. But anyways, so I read this book thinking that I would love it, and I do not love it. I don't love it. It is extremely disappointing when you read a book and you have such high expectations, and then you read it and it plummets to the freaking ground, to the core of the earth. And the main reason is two. One, Dime is freaking unlikable. I cannot stand her. She is so freaking irrational. She is reckless. She makes stupid decisions and then sees the consequences of those decisions and then makes more stupid decisions. Like, how do you not learn the first time around? How? I don't get it. I literally do not get it. And then on top of that, the second big issue I had with it was the fact that she was in a relationship with a different person pretty much the entire book, and even like most of the second book too, or parts of the second book. I read the second book too, by the way. It's called Glow of the Everflame. And you would think that she would improve in that second book because, hey, it's a second book, right? She should have learned some important stuff in the first book, and then thus use what she learned to grow herself. I mean, not grow herself, but grow, like, just grow as a person, like, learn from your freaking mistakes. But no, does she learn from her mistakes? No, she doesn't. No, she continues making stupid decisions, stupid, reckless, immature decisions, and then is like, "Oh my god, I didn't make those decisions." But like, women, like, you've done this like 50 billion times. When will you grow? Okay. My pet peeve in a book. It doesn't matter if it's fantasy or romance. I cannot stand it when the main character is in a relationship with somebody else for a significantly long period of time. Like, she is in a relationship with Henry the whole entire time. So I'm just like, where's the romanticy aspect of it? Like, you're supposed to be with Xander, right? Also, Xander, a little too perfect. I liked him. He was fine. He's just a little too perfect, right? And she doesn't even respect him as a character. Like, she doesn't even, I don't get how they're supposed to be endgame. They cannot be endgame because you have no respect for this man. But anyways, yeah, she's in a freaking. I think the other guy's name is Henry. She's in a relationship with Henry like the whole entire time, and Henry is a piece of shit. I said it. He is a piece of freaking shit. I did not like him. I did not like his choices, and I get it. You know, like, if you live in a oppressive environment, you're gonna have some major hatred towards the people that are oppressing you. But homie, like, there's good and evil on each sides, okay? If you think that side is bad, it's valid. I mean, the things that they're doing to you are not good either, but you doing the same things to them in turn doesn't make you right. Like, it doesn't make you morally righteous or whatever, you know? Like, what the frick is this book? How does it have 4.2 stars? How are people calling freaking Dime so fierce and brave and like they loved her? How do you love this woman? She is so freaking obnoxious. I don't even know if she's. Oh my god, is this supposed to be YA? I think this is supposed to be like new age / YA, and maybe that's why I'm just going crazy, you know? Because what the frick? What the frick is all I will say. I gave the first book 3 stars because I wanted to give it a benefit of the doubt because, you know, this is the first book. Things are getting set up. We will expect some, like, you know, character development and stuff throughout the book, yes, but then, you know, it's a series, so your main character should not be the same as she was in the first book. Like, she should have some growth in her. She should learn from the mistakes she's already made in the first book because, you know, the point of making mistakes is to learn from them, right? Well, not the point, but like the benefits of making mistakes is that you learn. This girl does not learn. I was going through the reviews on Goodreads to find, like, I have a hard time formulating my thoughts a lot of the times, right? So I like to read what other people write just to see what they're saying. And let me read you a snippet of what this person wrote. I'm not going to read the whole thing because this is like, it's long. But basically they say, Dime is the embodiment of my most hated YA/NA romantasy tropes. She's reckless, doesn't care how her actions impact others, and doesn't learn from her actions. She thinks she's badass and feisty and brave, but she's literally just selfish and stupid. Honestly, yeah. Whenever she has to make a decision, she somehow always lands at the worst possible decision she can make. Like, what? And I understand, you know, you can say, oh, she's young, she's still learning. Yeah, but young doesn't mean stupid. Young means young. Young means you still have a lot to learn, yes. But young does not mean you're stupid. I'm sorry to tell you this, but it does not mean you are stupid. Okay, you could be young and knowledgeable. You can be young and make good decisions. I'm calm now, I think. I gave Spark of the Everflame, the first book, 3 stars because, again, I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt. I didn't hate Dime, like, throughout the whole entire book. In fact, I didn't mind her at all, like, from the first to, like, halfway mark. You know, I thought she was fine. She seemed to be brave. She seemed to be smart. But towards, like, the middle and the end, you begin to see how irrationally reckless she is, how she makes immature decisions. And so the book left on a cliffhanger, and I wanted to know what was going to happen. Because again, despite her being unlikable, the world is fascinating. Again, it has a lot of potential. So I read Glow of the Everflame, expecting her to grow, expecting some character development to occur. But it literally doesn't. She is even more unlikable in Glow of the Everflame. Like, loads more unlikable. And so I don't think I will be continuing with the series. I really don't, which is unfortunate and makes me sad, and I'm very disappointed. But yeah, I don't know if I can handle it. I really can't. And it's just mind-boggling to me that it has let me see. So the first book has 4.2 stars, and it had like about 40,000 reviews. And the second book, Glow of the Everflame, let's see, had less reviewers, but it had like a 4.4 star on Goodreads, and that is damn near a 5-star, which makes no sense to me. Like, how are y'all like tolerating her? Like, how do you think, like, oh my god. I've read both positive and negative reviews, but unfortunately I just relate more with the negative reviews, and I'm not trying to be judgmental of the positive reviews, because I'm sure, I've given 5 stars to books where, somebody else was just like, girl, how, reading is subjective. But it just makes me giggle when I read these like 5-star reviews, because like, how, girl? Oh my god. There's this review by someone, which, this is like the top review that shows up on my end. It's by this account called SK, and they gave this a 4.5 stars. And they broke it down pretty well, I'll give them that. And they think that Dime's character has improved a lot. What? At least they agreed with me that Henry is a shitty person, so there's common grounds there. They said Henry is such a shitty person. I don't know how him and Dime even got along. Because Dime is an idiot. Dime is like, what's a good analogy? I cannot even, she's just, she hangs out with one person, and they like, oh, let me give you a good example of how Dime is. Dime is like that person that wants people to like her. So let's say I'm hanging out with Dime, and I say, I love cake. And she doesn't like cake, but she'll be like, I love cake. I see where you're coming from. Oh god, okay, I'm gonna end this video now, so thank you for listening to my rants, because it's either you or my dogs, and my dogs are tired of it, so